they'll think I'm cleaning, so that's good. But yeah, there's going to be so much Among Us this week. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah. Hey, my team did so that me and my teammate are doing good. The goal is to get at least 2 kills this game. Next game, tell me if you want me to stay at Polis or go somewhere else. My kill count. Hold on.
This is really frustrating because this is the one part of the response that the administration had largely gotten right, which is getting vaccines. Basically vaccines through the regulatory process. A lot of doses available.
Let's go, we got kill. Let's see, did my dude kill any guys? Alright, he kills green. Ooh, and he self-reported. Okay, so there's a lot of kills. Yeah!
And obviously, that's not a strategy that's a winning one for the American people. President Biden warns that the next few weeks may be the toughest yet. Things are going to get worse before they get better. Trump's never been this direct about the state of the pandemic. He hasn't even said anything about it recently, as horrible records were broken one after the other. Do you think that his frank messaging will get through to people who might not be taking COVID seriously enough, Dr. John, or do you think these battle lines have already been drawn?
No, look, what I heard from the president
I chose
was he spoke
orange,
to the American people
red, and
what the
white.
Iraqis,
Oh, dang it.
laid it out. It was pretty straightforward. He talked about what was going to happen, and he talked about what was
So I
being
got
done.
my computer
I think
out.
most Americans are ready for that.
If I say skip,
Confusion of understating of
I feel like I'm gonna get voted out. They might vote me out.
all of that stuff would know that that stuff is not right. It's
Yeah.
really helpful to have a leader who just
If
steps
there's
up like
tension.
and what we need to do about it. And I think that's going to make the response much easier in the weeks and months ahead.
Kristen Holmes, you've been covering
We skipped.
CNN, the vaccine distribution program.
What the?
What is the problem? They treated it first as 100 million, and they said
Oh, and they said
20
purple.
million.
Alright.
And we have
Oh, and they got my teammate out.
why
Oh,
so
dang it.
far behind where you were?
Oh, shit.
Well, Dr. King, I think keep this in mind here when you're talking about all of these numbers and shifting. What you
Oh,
really
no,
try
I
to
don't
do,
want one
when I
off.
talk to medical experts, they say a lot of this is over-promising. That is the big problem here. You have a messenger like Donald Trump who is saying 100 million doses, 40 million doses, 20 million doses. I am over-promising something that is a slow rollout here. Now, according to senior administration officials that I've spoken to, these low numbers are expected. They say that it's just a data system that is a usual lag in reporting.
Whoever
And
says
yet,
on
a
cam,
senior
Sony.
administration official, part of Operation Warp Speed, told me that there is an expected lag because of the data reported to CDC are coming from the states. They have to get it to their areas, they can get it to CDC. But we hear from doctors like Dr. Fauci on air today, and we hear him saying things like, if it is an underestimate, if it is an undercounted situation, how undercounted could it be? If we're at 2 million in the state database, in the CDC database, and we have to multiply to even get near to that 20 million doses. And I do want to note, though, that Operation Warp Speed, an official told me today that as of today, 19.88 million doses have been allocated for states. Now, that it still does not mean anything about vaccines in arms, and it doesn't mean anything about shipments. What that means is that states can now order those vaccines. They are inching closer and closer to that 20 million number. Now, of course, we're anywhere near that 100 million.
Yes,
And
baby.
point out there, but we heard
Alright, are we putting orange out? Should we get him out of here?
not actually
Please say orange.
is the idea of taking a federalized approach.
Not me, I'm done tap with tab. Oh, that makes me sus.
That they were pitching these ideas, they were tossing it around, trying to figure out what the best kind of way
I think we're gonna vote orange out.
vaccine distribution would be.
Please say we're voting orange.
Mass vaccination sites, that is something that will be federally run. That is
Is
not
orange a
something that is happening right
chocolate?
now.
Yes! The victory! Wait, is that Vic? I think it is. Unless,
Transition is not a good thing for a vaccine rollout, and they could cause potential problems if
let's go, Vic! Let's go, we get there faster, Vic! Let's go! Yes!
Mask mandates. What other priorities do you think he should make when he takes
Yes!
Yeah, I think those are the big
I'm
ones. And
sorry.
that I
You shouldn't be sorry, you got me the win!
is testing. Look, the way we get our lives back, the economy open, schools open safely,
She leaving?
everything back to some version of normal is if we have widespread testing
yep.
available. That combined with vaccines and masks are going to be the critical issue here. And again, I think there's a lot the federal government can do to ramp up testing and make it widely available to the American people. And we've gotten that as a signal from the Biden team, and I think it's the right signal. That's what we need to be hearing.
Dr. Jack, thank you so much.
No, we're gonna
Party wall of green with Democrats.
Give
That's
me
next.
a-
Plus, at Mar-a-Lago, the one source says President Trump was not happy
plan right now, and
Oh,
unfortunately,
jeez.
our system has always come up small every time. It came up small with the diagnostic testing.
I don't know what that just happened, but okay. We got a victory. That was like a 5-second victory.
So I think what you're hearing today is, for the first time, thank God,
Imposter. Let's go. We are
President-elect's remarks were so important today. You know, the other issue is going to be the fact that, you know, we don't really have a strong health system infrastructure for administering adult vaccines. Our health system infrastructure is overly reliant on the big pharmacy chains, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens. You can think about where you're getting adult vaccinations, and that will certainly help. But I think the other thing we heard from the president-elect was the fact that we're going to put these mobile teams in place, create vaccination sites, and that's what you need. You need that federal intervention if you're serious about getting what really needs to be around 200 million Americans vaccinated, because remember, interim transmission, we're going to need, at least our estimates that we did with City University of New York show that we're going to need 60 to 80% of the population, maybe 85% of the population vaccinated, and so that's a huge number. It also means vaccinated.
Oh, yep, someone was on
Undertaking was the first time we're really hearing about a plan to actually get vaccines to people's homes.
Eddie, I want you to be my highly educated, incredibly eloquent anger translator right now. You're my anger translator. I watched that Joe Biden speech, and I see a fighter. He's pacing in the course. Let me start solving this problem. I want you to talk about the sort of moral urgency that Joe Biden
got
is
an imposter
expressing.
victory.
He's not
It's
just saying,
fine.
yeah, I want to get to my job. I'm excited about my new job. He sounds like he's like, I gotta save this country, because the guy in office right now is sat there and he's got the blood of 300,000 people on his hands. Absolutely. I mean, look at this. I mean, I want to return to what Jeff Bennett just laid out for us in the beginning of this segment.
Maybe he was AFK. Imposter! Back to back. Let's go.
You talked about this before as well, Jason. About
AFK.
the Christmas holidays, right? In terms of folks, more people travel through TSA than since mid-March. So we know we're going to see a surge of bus surge. We're seeing over 330,000+ Americans dead. We know hospitals are at capacity. So there was the order. Then there was the calling out, as Jeff laid out, right? The fact that he was actually shining a light on gross negligence, on gross incompetence. But the third point is really important that Jeff made, and that is around the plan. And what the doctor said, right? What we're hearing here is, in some ways, Jason, I think, evidence of, shall we say, the emptiness, the bankruptcy of a particular political ideology. Easy to learn, easy to use. Is not just simply because of incompetence and gross negligence. It's actually driven by ideological commitments. They don't believe that the federal government should be playing this role. There's a reason we don't have this plan. And so what we have is evidence in testing, and now we see evidence in getting vaccines and arms of a bankrupt ideology that has put the nation in peril. That's I'm channeling anger, Jason. You're doing a great job. I always want to say keep that same energy. When we're talking about the sort of failures of this administration. Dr. Richard, I want to bring this back also to sort of the modeling realm. So, you know,
lies between the president and his party during his final weeks in office.
Good.
Objection is heard.
As lawmakers spar over stimulus checks on Capitol Hill, President Trump spending yet another day on the golf course and teeing up a tweet spree, attacking his own party. Trump calling Republican leaders weak and tired. We need new and energetic Republican leadership. Our leaders, ridiculous and pathetic. The president angry over an effort to overturn his veto of the defense spending bill, despite strong bipartisan support for the measure.
I'm not very surprised about tweets that are critical of people who are overriding the president's veto.
The senior Republican also telling CNN Hill Republicans share Bill Barr's assessment. These tweets are the ravings of a deposed king.
It really is a disgrace.
New details also emerging about how key Republican lawmakers narrowly avoided disaster by carefully persuading Trump to get behind the coronavirus relief bill. Georgia Senator David Perdue trying to
Alright,
survive
I'm
a difficult
looking.
runoff 1 week from today, traveling to Florida to personally lobby the president for his signature. While House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and Senator Lindsey Graham, who golfed with Trump this weekend, also nudging Trump, who relented on Sunday, signing the bill despite days of threats to veto it. And more than 7 weeks since Joe Biden was declared the winner, Trump today still lies about voter fraud and fuming over a lack of Republican support for his claims of election rigging. Though Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert is trying a last-ditch effort to overturn the election by filing a lawsuit against Vice President Mike Pence, attempting to force Pence to
You actually
ignore
need
the
to kill
electoral
someone
college
now.
results from 5 states
actually
when he
need to
oversees
kill
the congressional
someone.
certification
So-
on Capitol Hill next week. Legal experts say the lawsuit stands no chance. Democrats calling it a spectacle.
This crazy, frivolous lawsuit, of course, will fail. Whatever stunt they have planned for the joint session of Congress will fail.
And Jake, there are two things here that are glaring. Number one, that the president is spending his days mostly on the golf course. The White House giving no indication that he's personally lobbying these Republican senators to taking his side on this issue. We've got no indication from White House sources that he's actually personally reached out
She was on.
to Senate Majority Leader Mitch
So
McConnell.
what does that
All
do?
we've seen are these tweets where he doesn't actually name McConnell. He just goes after the generic Republican leadership.
Zamos.
Secondly, it's important to point out
Orange is definitely pointing fingers.
accepted that Joe Biden
Good.
this rift dates back to when McConnell on the Senate floor accepted the electoral college in the 2020 election year.
Yes, the price for acknowledging reality.
Anyways,
Sanchez, thanks
hope
so
you guys
much.
enjoyed
Great
that
news.
video, and I'll see you guys
Is urging
next.